Now we're going to talk about the text that's called A Problem, and it was written by Anton Chekhov. And actually, it was written in Russian, so it was translated later on by Constance Garnett. Let's take a quick background about the writer. And as you can see here, in the 19th century, a Russian writer who is Anton Chekhov. So we're going to talk about Anton Chekhov, not the translator, the writer himself, who was born in 1860 and passed away by 1904. And he is famous for his short stories and plays. He was born in Ukraine, into a family that it frequently experienced financial difficulties. So they weren't a very rich family, they were a poor family. He showed literary potential at an early age. After his mother taught him how to read and write, Shukub attended a school that taught Greek and Latin classics. So he studied Latin and Greek classics, and that was with the help of his mother, who taught him how to read and write. So he later studied medicine at Moscow University, where he began writing jokes, sketches, and stories for magazines to earn money. So he did these three stuff just to earn money. As mentioned before, he was born in a not rich family, but a family that has experienced financial difficulties. Shkuv mature works explore difficulties related to personal isolation and social classes. So let's see one of his texts that he wrote, A Problem. And in this text, we can see that there are very important characters and there are main characters. But let's see the name of the family that is mentioned in this text, who is called the Yoskov family. So in this, there are three main characters, or let's say four main characters. And the first one is Sasha Yuskov. And this is the main character because he is the main problem. He is the main topic of this story. And then we have his uncle, his maternal uncle, Markovici. So as you know here, or as you can see here, Sasha was his father and mother were passed away, so he didn't have anyone with him but his uncle, his maternal uncle, Mr. Markovici, and his two paternal uncles, who also were there with him. As we can see here, the meaning of maternal and paternal is that maternal is the person who takes the place of the mother, and paternal is the person who takes the place of his father or your father or the father himself. So it's mentioned here, the first part, that Sasha Tkov is a young man of 25 years old, who was the cause of the commotion and had arrived some time before. So it says that here, Mr. Markovici, his uncle, is a kind-hearted, and his full name is Ivan Markovici. So we're just saying the short name, Markovici, his uncle. And it shows in the story that Sasha has done a big problem, which is that he has taken money from the bank and he did not pay them back. And there is a huge negotiation between Mr. Ivan Markovici, his maternal uncle, and his two other paternal uncles that they don't know what to do with him, either to punish him for this big problem he did, or the big problem he created, which is taking money from the bank without paying them back. Or as Mr. Markovici, his maternal uncle, was trying to let them forgive him for his problem and to be by his side, as you know, family does. But throughout the whole story, it says that there was a huge negotiation and there is this agreement from the two paternal uncles that they don't want to help him for paying the money. It shows that Markovici is his a kind-hearted man, and the other two paternal uncles were strict and they were tough. So here it says, my friends, said the uncle who was a colon, and there was a note of exhaustion and bitterness in his voice. And he said, "Who says that family honor is a mere convention? I don't say that at all. I am only warning you against a false view. I am pointing out the possibilities of an unpardonable mistakes." It means here he's saying that he's warning them from the mistakes that doesn't have to be excused, because they see that he is a big man, and he is as they say, he's already mature, that he can take care of his problems, and it's not their problem to look after him and to pay all his the money that he has already taken from the bank. So as you can see here, it mentions that they are Russian, because he is saying, "I'm not speaking Chinese, I am speaking Russian." As I have said before, the writer is Russian, and this story was translated into English. Okay, and after that, we will find out that Sasha is not really concerned with the whole thing. He is just following what they're saying, and he just attended this meeting, this big meeting, just to make his uncle, his maternal uncle, Marco Vici, happy, and not to get him upset, because he sees that it's not really a big mistake to take money from banks. So it's even mentioned here in the text, saying that he is not really concerned with the problem, and he sees that it's not really a big problem, but he is just going with the Ivan Markovici, his uncle, who is trying to get things into its place and not to get into a big problem, and to try to pay his money. It shows that this family is a rich family, but still they don't want to pay the money, just to make him feel guilty for what he has done. Let's see, here is a very important sentence. It says, Ivan Markovici, in conclusion, begs his listener to ask themselves what's meant by crime, because throughout the story they have been saying that he has committed a crime, that Sasha has committed a crime. But here the beloved uncle is asking them, what is the real meaning of a crime? Crime is an immoral act founded upon ill will, but is the will of a man free? Philosophy has not yet given a positive answer to that question. So he is trying here to get them to feel, to have a good heart for him, to feel sorry for him, and to try to help him. After that, we can see here a very important another words that Mr. Markovici is saying. He said in the column in a voice, Ivan Markovici said the column in a voice of eternity, "We are talking seriously about an important matter. And you bring in Lambrusu, you clever fellow, think a little. What are you saying all this for? Can you imagine that all your thundering and rhetoric will furnish an answer to the question?" So here they are going against Sasha, and they are not agreeing with Markovici to forgive Sasha for his mistake, for his crime, and for his huge mistake, and that's what they have mentioned. Okay. So here comes that Sasha is really not into feeling guilty, and he doesn't really feel that guilty of what's going on. So this is the whole story, and at the end it doesn't really mention if they have helped him or they have left Sasha alone. But it says here that he was trying to give an excuse that when he lended money from the bank, he said that one of his friends is going to give him the money, but it was a bad coincidence that his friend didn't have the money to lend him, and he is even not really sad about what happened. He doesn't see that it is really a huge problem. Finally, this is the whole story about a problem for Sasha, who lended money, and his family thinks that it is a huge problem. Let's look quickly on the very easy vocabularies that have been mentioned in this text, starting from the beginning. And here comes the first vocabulary. Here it says, let us see here. Okay, the first vocabulary here is called, I am just going to bring the vocabulary so that we can see them. Yes, it is here. Candid, candid. So what's the meaning of candid? Candid means an honest and straightforward. So to be honest and to be a straightforward person, this is called candid, and this is an adjective. After that, we have another vocabulary that is called taciturn. Taciturn, it means tending to be quiet or unwilling to talk. So the opposite of tactum could be a talkative person, someone who is talkative. So tactum is already taciturn. Taciturn, sorry, it's called taciturn. Taciturn is an adjective, and the opposite could be talkative. Okay, so again, it means tending to be quiet or unwilling to talk. Taciturn, taciturn. Okay, the next vocabulary is trimmer. So what's the meaning of tremor? Is shaking motion, particularly one caused by exhaustion or weakness. So when you are shaking out of exhaustion and weakness, this is called tremor. And this is a noun, it's not an adjective or anything else, it's just a noun. Finally, not last and not the least, is benevolent. Benevolent means kind and giving, happy to help other people. So the person who is a benevolent person is the person who helps people and who is a helpful person, kind, someone who gives a lot. Love, gives help, gives good words. This is a benevolent person, and this is an adjective. After that, we have the word paltry. Paltry means it's very small enough to be of a little or no importance. So when there is something is very small, as we can see here in this topic or in this story, it says that Sasha sees that the whole problem is a paltry. It means it's very small. It is not even very important. So this is an adjective, paltry. After that, we have entreaty. Entreaty is a noun and it means a critical, serious demand or requesting for something. So when you are requesting for something or demanding something, ordering something, this is called entreaty. Again, it is a noun. And the next vocabulary is inextricably. Inextricably is an adverb and it means in a way that it is hopelessly entangled. So it is entangled. Finally, the last vocabulary in this text is called contemptuous. Contemptuous, it means, it's an adjective and it means expressing scorn or strong disapproval. And this is the summary of this text called A Problem, which is even talking about a problem in the whole story. The whole story is talking about the problem, and the story name is A Problem. And thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.